Hello everyone, today we're going to be working on a 2015 Harley Street Glide. Going to replace the front turning signals with some LED ones from Arlen Ness. These are very clean. As you can see, there's not much to them, but they definitely are a lot cleaner than the factory turn signals. Some things you're going to need: wire connectors. You're going to need 6 of them total, heat shrinkable, the red size, and that does not come with those in the kit. This is just one half. I've already installed one of them on the bike, and they do include a couple of lock washers that you're going to use in the process as well. Alright, now that we're over at the bike, we're going to go ahead and take it off. This is actually a whole assembly here that the turning signal is mounted to. So you have to take off the top and bottom bolt here. It's actually a 1/2 inch wrench on this particular bike. Not much pressure on these. Set those to the side, pull off the assembly. This plug has a little bit of play on it, so you can actually pull out some of the wiring a little bit so you can get in there. This plug, first time I saw one of these, it took me a few minutes to figure it out. It's not on the sides is how you release it. It's actually on the bottom of the plug. There's a little button you push in, pulls right out. Okay, we have the assembly over on the bench. Gonna need a 1/2 inch socket, ratchet, a little bit easier than a wrench to use on this. And they put up these on pretty tight. There we go. Alright. Now you're gonna have to go ahead and cut this. You're gonna want to cut it down to closer to the turning signal. Obviously, if you ever think you're going to reuse the turning signal, leave yourself enough slack that you can put some connectors on it. I will not be reusing this one, but I'm still going to leave a little bit of slack on here. Alright, put that to the side. Now that can be pulled out. Okay, so I got the light here. It's already got some wire stripped off for you. There's no need to cut the length off. If you want to, that's fine, but there's no harm in leaving it on there. You're going to want to make sure that these wires are not brittle. The first one I actually installed, the wire broke off as I was trying to put on a connector, so those all feel pretty good. Alright, so go ahead and put on your butt connectors. I'll show you doing one here. Crimp it. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 2 butt connectors on there, and I'm going to go ahead and strip the 3 wires on the plug. Notice we're reusing this plug, so we're going to strip these 3 wires. Okay, then we have the butt connectors that have already been put on here. All 3 of these are stripped. But the next thing you're going to want to do, and I actually didn't do this the first time around and I had to cut them back apart. I forgot to put on the bracket because the plug will not fit through the bracket. So going to go ahead and need to do that right now. So we're going to go ahead and feed these through. It goes through the little triangle one right there. It will fit through with the butt connectors. Simple as that. Alright. So at this time, if you want, you can reattach attach the actual signal to the arm. Make sure you get the plastic off. They put protective coating on here first, so go ahead and make sure you get that off at this point. You don't want to get it all tightened up and then realize that you need to get that out from underneath it. So it's like that right there. This is where you're going to use that washer that they supplied, the lock washer. Go ahead and put that on, and we'll go ahead and thread that in there. Get that finger tight, grab your ratchet. Get it snugged up, and then move the signal around so that it meshes up with your actual bracket. Everything feels really good there. Hold it tight and finish tightening off your nut. Alright, there we go. Now we can go ahead and crimp these together. As far as the colors go, the black obviously is going to go with the black wire. That's your ground. The blue from the bike plug, that's actually your driving light, which when you look at the instructions that Arlen Ness provides, the driving light will be the red wire, the indicator light will be the blue wire from your Arlen Ness light. So again, just make sure you match them up. Blue doesn't go to blue, blue goes to red. So just double check your work before you go ahead and attach them. I'm going to go ahead and crimp these on, heat shrink them, and we'll head back over to the bike. Okay, then we've came back over to the bike, and here's the finished product. Let those cool off for a minute or two before you come back up here, just to make sure they're sealed properly. But everything is heat shrunk. Sorry, you might not be able to see it there. Everything is heat shrunk and ready to go. So we can go ahead and affix the plug, push that in, and then you're ready to assemble it. Go ahead and push the wires back in. I would push it in far enough that you can get the 3 butt connectors in there as well. And then the rest of it can actually be fed inside of the bracket itself. There's plenty of room in there for the wiring. Go ahead and set it up there. Just make sure that you look around on both sides, make sure that there's no wires sticking underneath. You don't want to tighten this up and then have a wire get crimped underneath and short out and wonder what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and attach the nuts back on. The other one actually fell into the bike. Okay, I found that other nut underneath the bike. We're going to go ahead and give these a tighten. Remember, just hand tighten. These don't need to be over tightened at all. Just get them snug and go ahead and get everything cleaned up. Looking at this, at the finished product, again, I have to say they're extremely clean. Extremely clean. You don't really notice them from a distance, but they're extremely bright because they're LEDs. So I think it's a great ad for the price. It's a do-it-yourself at-home project. It took me about 15-20 minutes, even with doing the video recording. So again, I think they look really good. I think it turned out great. Thank you, everybody. Check out my website, www.rotation.mx, for more videos.